All right, I'm back with you. Michael was doing good, doing some flips. Um, so let's get started here with some answers on the starter. I gave you 5 questions. First one was 1.7 moles of NH3. How many grams is that? I suggested 28.9 grams. Number 2, 1 mole of O2 has a mass of what? 8 grams, 16 grams, or 32 grams? Number 3, 3 moles of magnesium plus 2 moles of phosphorus yields 1 mole of magnesium phosphide. If I started with 4 moles of phosphorus, how many moles of magnesium phosphide would I produce? 1, 2, or 3? Then number 4, complete the following reaction between lithium and nitrogen. And number 5, do a little calculation with that reaction. If I start with 21 grams of lithium, how many grams of lithium nitride am I going to produce? All right, so we're going to move over to Apple TV here, and then I can use my iPad. All right, we're about there. There we go. Okay, so first question was 1.7 moles of NH3. 1.7 moles, M-O-L, of NH3. Okay, so we just need to figure out the molar mass of NH3. So I'm going to go over to my periodic table, and I'm going to look up nitrogen. And nitrogen has a mass, we're going to round to whole numbers, so it has a mass of 14, and hydrogen has a mass of 1. All right, so let's go back over to our, there we go, to our worksheet. So that would be 14 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So that is 17 grams for 1 mole. All right, 17 grams for 1 mole, but I have 1.7. So I need to do some multiplication. So 17 grams per mole times 1.7 moles. And if I do that calculation, it does in fact equal 28.9 grams. So that was true. I don't often give you true ones, but I did this time. All right, number 2, 1 mole of O2. 1 mole O2. And we got to keep in mind here, that guy right there, there are 2 of them. So we're going to zip over here and look at oxygen, and it says 15.999. We're going to round that up to 16. So 1 mole of O2 has 2 oxygens in it. So that means it is 16 plus 16 is going to be 32 grams. So that was letter C, 32 grams. All right, number 3. I gave you an equation. 3 moles of magnesium plus 2 moles of phosphorus yields 1 mole of magnesium phosphide. Okay, that's a true reaction. But I wanted, instead of using 2, I wanted to make this 4. What did I do to my recipe? If I went from 2 up to 4, I doubled the recipe. That means I would have also needed 6 moles of magnesium, and if I'm doubling the recipe, I would produce 2 moles of magnesium phosphide. And so the correct answer would be letter B. Okay, 2 moles. We're just doubling the recipe. All right. Number 4, we're going to do some work with this equation. So let's get it started here. Remember that we go through our first 5 steps, write the reactant. So in this case, it is lithium and nitrogen and an arrow. Then I'm going to write the product, and the one furthest to the left comes first, and so that is lithium and then nitrogen. I'm going to check for diatomics. This nitrogen's traveling by itself, so it needs a 2. The other one is not. We need to balance the molecules. So in this case, lithium is +1, nitrogen -3. So when I switch those, and then I don't write the 1 behind the nitrogen, so Li3N. And my last step is to balance the whole reaction. So in this case, I need 2 nitrogens. That balances, and then I have 6 lithiums. All right. So let's see, if I have 6 lithiums, wow, 6 lithiums it takes to produce 2 moles of lithium nitride. So that's the answer to number 4. But then what I asked is, in this reaction, how many grams of lithium nitride would we produce if I started with 21 grams over here of lithium? Well, I first got to ask a question. How many moles are there in 21 grams of lithium? Well, let's see. Lithium, its molecular mass is 7 grams per mole. And I know that, let's see if I can go on over here to lithium. I can see 6.94. Okay. So, all right, 6.94. So 7 grams. So 7 grams in 1. So 21 divided by 7 means that I started with 3 moles. Oh, okay. If I started with 3 moles, but my recipe says I should start with 6, what did I do to the recipe? I cut it in half. So I would only need a half a mole of nitrogen, but I would only get half as much over here, so I would get 1 mole of Li3N. I'd get half a recipe. So now I can just add up the molar mass there, and that is 7 plus 7 plus 7 lithiums and a nitrogen at 14. So that is 35 grams is the final answer. If you got 35, give yourself a big pat on the back. I noticed Fred, he struggled a little bit, but he's smiling because Fred got 35 grams. He's doing good. He attends every day. He's right on time on Monday morning. So hopefully you got that one. And we're going to go next and do a little review on some equations and then back to some stoichiometry.